In today's episode, we'll talk with Konrad, also called Mini Bomba. He is an open source maintainer, contributor, privacy aware person, and also he has interesting take on large language models and AI development. So welcome, Mini Bomba.
Hi, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, and I think we can start about talking why open source? Because you have like a lot of experience in open source. You're a contributor, and can you tell me like why are you doing this?
Why am I contributing to open source?
Yeah.
But no, the thing about open source, the idea behind like contributing to open source is that, well, if someone like makes something and puts it online as an open source project, the idea is that they're making something for themselves and also is making available for other people to use.
Yeah.
And then the idea is that if you use that project and you find something's wrong, you find something that's missing that you would like there to be, the best way to improve the situation is to just fork the project, and do what you want to do, and then make a PR back upstream.
Yeah, but why would you do like this work for free when you can make money from it? You're basically like doing this all of this for free, and you're not making any profit from this.
Well, would I be employed to actually work on things I actually use, or would I, if I, hypothetically, if I were to get a job, professionally unemployed, if you work, you usually work on the company's projects, right? And it's not always in your interests. Like it's not always in open source. If you contribute to some project, it's most likely because you're interested in that project and you use that project. If you work, it's because you're employed at a company and the company says that you should do it.
Okay, but what about you can always start your own company and work there for money, and you are both working on something you like and you're earning money from it for it.
I've actually considered it. I know that it's actually something people do. Like it's actually having like a company to contribute to like we are talking major open source projects that actually have money to like put out as grants for like completing something. For example, the KDE project. You know what KDE is?
Yeah.
The one that looks like Windows. Behaves like Windows. Yeah, they recently got like I think €1 million in a grant.
And million.
Yeah, over €1 million, and they are using it as like grants for actually adding features that they're missing. Like for example, I think one of the things they got a grant for is to improve the situation of network shares on Linux, because like currently they're kind of junk. Like they only work in file managers, and then if you like want to export something from like GIMP directly to a network share, no, like, I mean, you can't do it graphically. Like you can, if you mount the directory manually, like it will work, but there's no graphical way to do it. So basically, that's one of the things they got a grant for. So like I know that people actually set up companies to take advantage of those grants. Like they are actually then working on an open source project. They are doing on something they're interested in, and they might earn bounties for like the things they do.
Okay, so would you consider starting a company like, I don't know, KDE, or would you mind like joining this kind of company? Like, what's your plan there?
Maybe I haven't explained it in depth enough, but the KDE is really a company. It's a non-profit. And then people who want to work on like the features they have grants for, they set up their own company. They are self-employed, and then they contribute whatever they do and send an invoice, right?
Okay, so that's something you would like to do?
It's something I could actually consider doing.
Okay,
but I could see myself having like such a company.
Yeah, that would be like awesome. You contribute to open source and also get money for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of done that already.
Okay.
Yeah, sponsor blog.
Yeah, we can talk about sponsor blog, because like right now you aren't doing this for money per se. You're just
No, I'm just doing it because I like the project and it's something I personally use, and it's also something like I think like the way I've rationalized it in most situations is that I'm gaining experience, right?
Okay.
I'm doing something that is mainly for myself, also for others, and I'm just earning while I'm doing it, I'm gaining experience in, like, for example, programming in Rust.
Okay.
Like the thing that actually got me money from SponsorBlock is actually creating the Arrow browser.
Oh.
Right. So the Arrow browser is like a web application.
Mm-hmm.
It started as like a great my experiment in like programming in Rust. First, I'm looking too much at the screen. Yeah. So first, programming in Rust at all, and then also an experiment in can I actually make a whole web application, like front end, back end, all in Rust?
Yeah. We can rewind a little bit to start. Like, how did you start with SponsorBlock, and even what SponsorBlock is for anyone unaware?
So if someone's not aware of SponsorBlock, it's an extension. It's a web extension for like browsers. It's mainly fun. It's only works on YouTube. Okay, it's an extension that where people contribute mark segments in the video that they might want to skip. Things like, of course, sponsors. It's in the name, SponsorBlock, right? But it's not just sponsors. It's also like unpaid promotion. This segment is gonna get marked as unpaid promotion if someone's watching from and using SponsorBlock. Like, I know it.
Yeah.
No, actually, the entire video will be marked as full video self promotion. But
Yeah.
other than self promotion, they're also like you can skip like repetitive intros. You can skip like outros. Segments where like they're talking, basically there are clips of upcoming in this video, and then you have clips and you can skip that. Also recently they added hooks, so basically when it's kind of similar to previous, but it's more focuses on just people like talking. I actually like introducing you to the idea of the video, but in
yeah, I know.
I don't know the category. No, I'm not an expert in. What's it called again? I guess hook/greetings. I'm not an expert of hook/greetings.
Okay. So it's basically an extension to skip content that you are not interested in.
Yeah, that you're not interested. It's something that is annoying.
Yeah, annoying content.
Annoying content and just ads.
Okay, and how did it start with SponsorBlock?
I actually don't remember how I got the extension. Like, I think it was around the time where it's possible that Linus Tech Tips actually talked about SponsorBlock or like Vanced. I genuinely don't remember how I found the extension, but I found the extension and I started using it, and then I started finding that someone doesn't know how to do segments. So I started joined their Discord and I started reporting things. I reported a few segments. I started even like being saying like, okay, there's this segment that is very bad and I've made a replacement. Please lock my replacement, please do, right? And yeah, it was like that for like I think a month. Then I found that you can get moderator privileges. Just react and go to the VIP request channel and you make a thread. I made a thread, and I think in like a few hours, Ajay, which is the maintainer of SponsorBlock, just added me and a few other people, and that's how I became a moderator on SponsorBlock.
So you basically had to create a thread, or
a thread on Discord, right? Just I want moderator privileges, and I know how to do segments.
Okay.
You've seen me in incorrect submissions. You can give me privileges.
Okay, please give me moderator, and they give you the moderator.
Yep, that's nowadays. Because I see it from the other side nowadays. Like nowadays, it's. I see people making threads, and then they get to wait for like 3 months. And then Ajay thinks, yes, it's a good time to add moderators, and he adds moderators.
Okay, and what after that you become the moderator?
Yeah, no, as I became moderator, I didn't have to like request people, other moderators to remove segments for me. I could do it just myself. So I use SponsorBlock as a moderator, but then I also think I found. There was also a channel for like reporting bugs, and I found someone. I don't remember if it was someone or if it was myself, but I found someone having like an issue, and I was able to like reproduce the issue, and I submitted a fix. Just I mean, at that point, it wasn't my first like contribution to open source on GitHub.
Mhm.
The first contribution on GitHub for me was the Shapes.io game. I was contributing Polish translations because if you've ever used open source software, not in English, you know that the translations are often shit.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
because like people, I don't know how they translate. They just don't use the product that they make. But I was, I was playing the game and I was just, as I found issues, I was just changing the language files and making pull requests.
Yeah, and that was your first contribution. How old were you?
How old was I?
Yeah.
I think it was like the second grade of like technicum. So how old was?
So like 16,
16
17?
probably, yeah.
Okay, something like this. And coming back to sponsor block, yeah, you saw this bug report channel and you tried to reproduce this issue and you created your first pull request.
Yeah, I just fixed the issue. I don't remember if it was a server issue or it was a front-end issue, but I just fixed it and made a pull request. And after, I don't remember, probably after a few days, the Ajay just patched it.
And how did you feel when this happened?
I don't remember. But really? I probably felt as I always do when I do some. Well, actually, I guess about merging, I probably didn't feel anything special. But the feeling of actually fixing the bug and succeeding in fixing something, doing what, reaching the goal that you've set for yourselves, that being fixing a bug, that was probably good. But again, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, so.
Okay, you don't remember that well.
So I don't remember that well.
Yeah, and it was your first fixed bug in sponsor block?
Yep.
And what are you doing from there? Because like you're now a contributor, like you don't become a contributor after one bug fixed.
You do.
Yeah, you know.
But I'm not a regular contributor, right? Then like I remember that I was also, we were having some server issues. Yeah, back when I joined, there was like a period in sponsor block where, okay, admittedly, Ajay was also experimenting with Kubernetes, and if I remember correctly, he put Postgres on Kubernetes, and then we had a full month of downtime.
The worst idea to put Postgres in Kubernetes.
Don't put Postgres in Kubernetes. He knows. He has learned it. Nowadays, the server is solid, except when it is. But, yeah, but back then, there were a lot of issues, and I was just, found one side effect, one symptom of the issue, and I jumped into the code and just tried to find where the issue could be, and I often succeeded in doing it. I then changed or modified the logic to do what it should do. Pull requested back and done.
I see that you're a great debugger. You're really good at fixing stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think I've learned that before actually contributing to open source. It was, I think I've learned debugging and when I was making my Discord bot in Python. I was doing that I know for a fact that I was doing that in the first grade of Technicum. So yeah, that a bit earlier. I was doing it mostly for like my friend and for my friend's Discord server. I was just again implementing things that they wanted. I was implementing like a moderation feature for a game. We had a game called The Last Letter, where you have to, on a channel, you have to say a word that starts with the last letter of the previous person.
Yeah, just a silly game.
Just a silly game, and I was basically adding a feature so that the bot would moderate it, make sure that no one was submitting 2 words in a row and they weren't making up words. Though it did that by checking if there's some Wikipedia article for it. Also, it was checking like the dictionary and also Wiktionary. So a side effect of it checking whether it existed as a Wikipedia article is that you could add words with underscores and you could just enter full article names into the game.
That's funny. Another bug to fix for you.
That's a feature.
Okay, that's a feature.
I call that a feature, yeah. But then when I was developing the bot, I I learned how to use the debugger, how to like debug code, and have you ever debugged a code? Do you know how that works?
Yes, sometimes I did
Yeah,
that.
you know, you set a breakpoint, you step through the code, look at the variables, how they end up, and try to figure out what you did wrong, or what the code did wrong. Yeah, and I actually now remember back then it was, you know, the COVID pandemic. Oh, I'm gonna get this video demonetized. Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm gonna have to bleep the word
Yeah, it's
COVID.
not monetized at all, unfortunately. So
Oh no, anyway. Yeah. Uh so back then I had a lot of time. I was also experimenting with streaming.
streaming.
Yeah,
Okay.
again, my friend, the same friend that I was making the bot for, he was also live streaming back then. He was live streaming Hypixel Bed Wars.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
see. I
yeah,
also liked Bed
yeah.
Wars.
And I must say, myself started also live streaming, and I actually did a few streams of just developing the bot.
Nice.
So even though the bot isn't open source, and I would really like it for to be open source, but I also accepted some contributions from other people on the server, and we don't have contact anymore. So I can't really open source it.
Okay.
Because that would be a violation of other people's copyright, and I will not do that. But the code exists publicly on the recordings from my live stream, which are on my YouTube channel and playlist if someone will find it.
Okay. You touched like a really interesting topic for me. You talked about copyright rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're pretty sensitive to this. Also, like going back to sponsor block, I think this community, maybe you can correct me, but this community is also pretty much privacy aware and also copyright aware. Is that the case?
The moderator community, yeah, some of them are. Not all of them, and certainly not all of the users, but the moderator community, I think they are pretty privacy aware.
Okay. And are you doing something to like protect your privacy right now?
Like just using the internet. Well,
Yeah.
I'm doing a thing against it, which is talking to you on this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
With my name on it.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. If you like to have a camera pointing at you.
I mean, I don't mind really. I mean, I've done worse things for my privacy. Like, if you want, my full name is on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah. ChatGPT can get it, so yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and good that you said ChatGPT. What do you think about ChatGPT and other LLMs?
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. That's a great topic, and like about the tools themselves, like the large language models, sure, like they're models, but I think because I do have an issue with AI, and my main issue is how it's being used and how it's being marketed. Like, I feel like AI is sometimes being marketed as this, this great thing that can do everything, when it's just like not true. Like, I feel like, yeah, there's also this comical contrast between what they say in marketing, which is it's great, and what they say in fine print when you use that tool. And it's like, yes, ChatGPT can make mistakes. Please make sure to verify. No one does. Because again, like, yeah, I guess that's another issue I have. Like, okay, if I want to use it for like technical things, especially things I don't know, then I need to have the knowledge to verify whether the thing the tool did is correct. But then if I have the knowledge that I was asking it for, why would I use the tool?
For example, to speed you up.
To speed me up. Yeah, if it speeds me up, okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like in programming, because we both do programming, and I feel like maybe if you are doing something really repetitive, I would be fine with it. But I personally don't use any AI.
Okay, why is that?
I feel like if I were to use AI, it wouldn't actually fit my workflow, and it would actively kind of distract me from actually what's important, which is programming and thinking about how your code works, right? Because when I program, I'm often thinking about, like, I have the whole like the whole control flow in my brain is just okay. I have to do this so that it does the right thing. And I feel like if I were to outsource some of that actual coding thing or coding job to the AI, then like I would no get programming, and then I would, instead of outputting from my brain from what I'm thinking, I would have to analyze what the AI created. First, I would have to wait for it to output things, which I actually don't know how long does it take for, like, if you prompt it to, for example, write a function, how long does it often take?
It depends from model to model, but it can take from like 1 second for pretty fast models to like 5 minutes for models that are thinking a lot.
Okay. Well, I assume that for the fast models might make more mistakes, but the thinking models might be better with it. Okay, if it would take 1 second, then okay, I guess I'm not waiting a lot. But if I'm waiting 5 minutes, that's almost as long as it takes to compile the program. And I feel like there's this joke in like culture of working, which I'm not in, that boss walks in and what are you doing? Oh, I'm waiting for it to compile. Yeah, nowadays would probably say, oh, I'm waiting for ChatGPT to write the thing I asked it for. Like, it takes a long time, and then I still have to analyze what it created, and I have to think, okay, does it match what I thought, what I wanted to create? Are there bugs in it? Did it forget something? Like, I feel like it would not only does it like completely change my workflow. It also introduces this aspect of waiting and also paying for programming. Like, my brain is free, okay? Like, I can use my brain to code for free. Why would I use a model which is paid or maybe has a free trial, which will probably disappear in the future and the prices will probably rise in the future, when I can, just use my brain, right?
Okay.
And it's more fun for me to code. I actually enjoy programming. I know that some people don't enjoy programming, but I like the entire problem solving aspect of programming, and I enjoy it very, very much.
Okay. And given that you're not using AI by yourself, but you're still like giving the AI source code to train on, because like you do open source and LLMs are trained on open source code. And what are your feelings about it?
Oh, my feelings. Oh, like when this AI boom started, the meaning of the word AI is another topic. But LLMs, image generation models, like they've all had like lawsuits against made against the companies that trained the models for copyright infringement. For example, there was a lawsuit against Meta that they literally had proof, internal communications, that engineers downloaded the entire libgen. You know what the libgen is, right?
I'm not sure.
You probably don't know.
Yeah.
It's basically a pirate library. Like
okay.
They just pirated every book that there is and put in the model. And
really,
then in the lawsuit they aren't arguing that whether they did it or not, because it's obvious they did it. No, they argued, it's what do they call it? It's
fair use.
Fair use. It's fair use. It's transformative. like this whole AI, this whole AI trend just made us, like, at least me, aware of how, like, just made you think about the whole copyright system, right? It's mostly it's supposed to protect the individual, the one who is creating something. Sorry, not creating. I'm gonna have one of the moderators of Sponsorbook be annoyed that I use create. No, that I'm authoring something. The copyright is supposed to protect the authors of a work, right? But then it turns out that in reality, if you're a big company, you can just do whatever. As a big company, you can do whatever, and you can scrape the entire internet and put it into AI, which your marketing says that it's creating new things, it's offering new works, but in reality, sometimes it's literally just plagiarizes. Like I feel like large language models, and not only large language models, anything that is generative AI, is just a copyright laundering machine. Like, okay, maybe with LLMs it isn't so evident, but for example, I remember, maybe you might remember there was a news story quite a long while back where one of the image generation models, they would often just generate Getty images watermark.
Really?
Yeah, and it really shows you how little they respect the authors of actual works. Or, for example, like again, a few years back, I used Suno, the music generation model, just for shit posting. Like I put we had some copy pasta on the server, and I put in the copy pasta into the lyrics, and I said, okay, generate this, but make it disco polo. It fucking generated Zenek Martyniuk.
Really?
Yes. Like, genuinely, it sounded like fucking Zenek Martyniuk.
Crazy.
Literally 1-to-1. Like, I'm not saying that those models are good. I'm saying that it feels like it's infringing copyright.
And do you feel we can do something about it?
Can we do something about it? Like, of course, we can. Like, there are like projects that help with avoiding, with preventing AI scrapers from actually being able to use your work. If we're talking about website and code, there are like projects like there's Anubis, which is one of the. It's basically a proof of work captcha for websites. If you want to access a website, your computer is going to have to compute something, and that compute is gonna have like mine 1 Bitcoin.
Okay.
Not really Bitcoin, but it works in a similar way. Basically, you have to like compute some hash and have enough zeros in the front.
So
it's quite a standard procedure, and that for a normal user, okay, it might be annoying if you're on a lower end device because it might take you a few seconds to first load the website. But it's manageable usually. But for the AI companies, they're gonna have to spend so much more compute if they want to scrape your entire website, because they're gonna have to compute like 1 million of those capture those proof of work challenges. And if they do it too fast, the difficulty rises.
Ooh,
so they have to do more. They have to do more to access the website. So yeah, that's one way of that's one way, which is basically trying to stop them from visiting your website. But there's another approach. I think it's called iodide. Yeah, I think iodide. There's this project which doesn't actually focus on just blocking everyone, but it focuses on actually detecting who is the AI scraper. But I think if I checked when I checked their documentation, they were talking about like checking headers, whether your user agent even made sense, if like you're sending the headers that you should be, if you're saying that you're Chrome, and if they detect that you're not what you say you are, then they put you in an AI maze. They just they have like their own model, which isn't like generative and a LLM level model. It's just some random set of words. The default one just uses the source code of the application, but you can put anything in there. Like if you want, you can put 1984 into there, and it will, when AI scrapers visit, they will get just random words from 1984.
Nice.
Not only that, they also get random images.
Ooh.
Sometimes it's a QR code, which leads to nowhere. Sometimes it's a JPEG, which is literally made of random bytes.
Okay.
And it doesn't even render properly. And it has links, which lead you back to to more slow. And it's basically poisoning the model, because like if they were to think that, oh, this is content, yes, this is genuine human content, if they were to train on it, they would just die, because it's absolutely random. And it's not the only project that I've seen that tries to poison models that train on unauthorized works. Thinking mainly in music, I've seen, actually, yeah, there have been attempts in music, and there have been attempts in images. In images, there's been, I don't remember the name of the project, but there's basically a project which takes in an image and it kind of modifies it very slightly so that humans don't notice, but it modifies it enough so that most modern image generation models think you're like, for example, if you, I don't know, you drew a car and you apply the poison to your image, it's, for a human, it still looks like a car, but to a computer, oh, that's a train. Yes, that's a human. Yes, bicycle.
Okay.
I'm using absolutely different terms that are actually used in those projects, but you get the vibe, right? It basically tries to trick models into thinking that what they're getting is not actually what it is. And then they trick it into training that, okay, you see this car? Yes, this is a human. And then later, if they train on enough such poisoned content, then use the word again. Then the model basically, if someone later were to use that model and ask it for a human, might generate a car instead, or a train. It basically breaks it.
Yeah.
There have been similar attempts in music where basically, again, similar idea. They change the audio slightly. And it makes it so that if you want to, for example, extend a given track or create something similar, it thinks that this electronic track, this progressive house or whatever, is actually, I don't know, disco polo, and it just completely just does the wrong thing.
Yeah, also poisons the LM. So there are two categories of things that you can do. First is make the AI company pay for your content by compute, or just
make it harder, make it hell to scrape your website.
And the other way is just to give a nonsense content to them, so the LMs are poisoned and the quality is going down. Actually,
to give the second way is to give them nonsense, and also there is the third that I talk about, which is when you're posting something publicly, your work is to protect that work from being trained on by tricking the
but also poisoning, basically.
Yeah, it's also poisoning.
Okay, and did you know about some people, or maybe you were affected by those companies scraping the data?
Oh yeah, you know how I've been using the word content, and I've said that, oh, a certain person won't like it. Yeah, it's that person. Again, from the sponsor blog community, there is this one moderator, fellow moderator from Germany, who hosts their own Forgio instance. Which is basically a self-hosted version of GitHub. We also want to set up Forgio for our science club, but that's another topic. And basically, it turns out that these scraping bots, they just visit every single link, including the whole commit list, and not only the commit list, not only the diffs, they generate Git blames for every single file. And Git blame is really expensive to compute. And basically they end up just DDoSing the server. Just making it absolutely just load average up to 4 times what your CPU is, and because it needs to compute 50,000 Git blames for every single file on your repository for AI to train. Or why does AI need to know how to generate blade. Why are you doing this?
Yeah,
Companies.
great question. I think it's just pretty dumb AI that tries to scrape every single link.
Yeah. But I guess they're desperate because like they need more content to make new models, right? Because if they were to train on something that is AI generated, it turns out that after a few rounds the model again breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And we are talking about AI companies scraping the data, but they were not first to like infringe the privacy of people. There's also Microsoft, Google, and other companies. And
Privacy.
one interesting thing for me, you're using GitHub a lot, and
Yeah.
and GitHub is owned by Microsoft.
Yeah. I would really like to set up my own. I was thinking about setting up my own Forge instance, but I don't have a home server, and I was thinking about actually like renting a dedicated server from like OVH.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten around to it.
Okay.
I wanted to rent it, for example, set up my own Nextcloud instance to set up Forgeo and set up my own mail server. I haven't gotten around to it, and I don't know if I will do it this summer or next or in 5 years or whatever. But I would like to just move off of GitHub.
Mm-hmm.
I would maybe leave like my repositories, I don't know, maybe as a mirror, or maybe I would just leave a README. That day I moved it to my own instance.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm aware. GitHub is just worsening every day. If you've seen that unofficial status page, you know that they're below 90% uptime.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, what the fuck? Microsoft, like, it's a big how can such a big company? I know how. Enshrittification.
Yeah.
Just pure enshrittification. They just stopped carrying because it's too expensive.
Mm-hmm. And sponsored block is also on GitHub.
Yep.
And why is that?
GitHub was the default for a long time. It's the same reason why Windows is still being used by so many people.
Mm-hmm.
They are just the default, and it's again, and also network effects, because GitHub is somewhat of a social media platform
Mm-hmm.
for programmers, and for social media platforms, there's this thing again called the network effect. Basically, nobody wants to be on a social media platform by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's a social media platform, it has to have, you know, the society.
Mm-hmm.
If you're there just alone, or if there aren't many users of it, it will start dying.
Mm-hmm.
And only the biggest survives. And if you want to move people off of the main platform, it's really hard.
Okay, so it's basically of the social effects that
I think
you're
so.
still using GitHub, Sponsored Block is using GitHub.
Yeah.
But there are projects that are also based on social and are decentralized, like for example,
Yep.
Matrix.
Yep. The Forgeo team is working on a federated version on a federated feature of Forgeo, so that you could self-host Forgeo and send pull requests to other people's servers from your account. That would be really fire.
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
Can't wait for them to do it. I think Forgeo is developed by another non-profit. It's backed by Codeberg.
Oh,
which is again a competitor to GitHub.
Yeah, and given that you are also self-hosting a lot of stuff, what's your take on self-hosting?
I think it's a great idea. Like, just not for everyone, of course. If you're the technical person, you should self-host. You should try self-hosting. Like, host your own things, be in control of your own data, and maybe share with your friends. Maybe share access with your friends. Let your friends use your services. Yeah.
And do you think that are we going more to the side of putting everything in the cloud, or the future will be more everyone has their own services controlled by them? What's the direction?
I've recently made a presentation for an English course exactly about this.
Oh.
My idea, I feel like the future will be if you want to actually, not be in this enshittification hole, which we are now in, the best solution is to just make everything either federated or peer-to-peer.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we want to be in control of our own data because centralization is actually expensive, right? It might feel like it's the simplest thing, just put everyone on the same platform, but then you have a single server or a single entity who has to pay for those servers. And if you want to be successful, the idea of being successful is that everyone is using your service. And so you will end up with 8 billion users, and that's a lot of users, and that's gonna cost you a lot. It doesn't scale. But if we were to use federated systems, my idea is that if you are a technical person, you should be hosting your own server for a federated service. And if you have non-technical friends, or your friends of friends aren't technical, you should maybe let them onto your service, provided that they can behave. That's another idea that also in centralized systems is quite easy to moderate. You just ban the person and they're gone. But in a federated system, if you ban it from your instance, they can go to another instance. And if they are public, if these instances are public and you can register on any service, then they can have like 1,000 accounts different, and you would have to ban them all. Like, how do you deal with it? I feel like the solution would be to basically assume that every group of like friends should have like one technical person who should be setting up the services. Then if they want, the group of friends can share the costs. And, it would be you could either host it from like your home, provided that we get IPv6, or you could rent out like a small cloud server, and you could share the costs with your friends. And the idea is that the one who is hosting the instance is responsible for the users. If your users cannot behave, you should ban them. If you don't ban them, others can ban your instance.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So basically, we're moving the whole moderation issue from being like, oh, you need a trust and safety department, to, oh, you're my friend, you please behave, okay? Like, you're removing it to a personal level. And the idea is that if you have like a friend who cannot behave, you can just stop providing the services to them, and then they would have to find another friend. And if they don't have any other friends because they're naughty, then they no longer have an account unless they start behaving, right? And it also, another thing about privacy, you know how recently we've seen a lot of law passed that, oh, you have to verify that your users are 18 or over,
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's really annoying because all of the services start introducing like third-party providers, verification providers, like especially Persona, which has had a lot of controversy with how they're dealing with privacy, or not dealing with privacy correctly. And then you end up, you want to use something, or you need to pass your ID. Well, in my idea, your friend.
Okay.
So, the verification, if you know someone, you can verify them yourself. You don't need a third-party provider to know that your friend is 18 or 18 has 18 years, and is over 18 years, right?
True.
So then we eliminate the need for like Persona and other stupid companies like that.
So more of a social proof.
Yep.
That's how it worked before the internet, I think so.
Maybe we should think about how it was done before the internet, right? How things were done back in the days.
And how does your setup look like? Are you also sharing your instances with your friends?
I've tried to share my Matrix instance with friends. You know, my roommate does have an account on Matrix, but he doesn't use it.
Okay.
I've tried to give an account, a Matrix account to, again, my friend from Technicum, and he didn't set up an account. He wants to see on Discord. Fine. But you know, if some friend of mine would come up to me and say, "Hey, can you give me a Matrix account?" Sure, I can do it.
Okay, so adoption across non-technical users is pretty hard.
Yeah. And there's also, you know, if we're talking about moving to federated platforms, again, network effects. It's really hard to move people off of the centralized platforms because like they have friends who aren't on the federated side.
And how would you solve this problem?
Bridges. If you've heard about bridges in terms of like federated services, it's basically an idea that those open platforms, they can let you like use you can give them access to your account on like central on, for example, Discord, and then you can talk to your Discord friends through your Matrix account, and it basically looks like you're on like they are all on Matrix, except not everything works. But
so the technicalities are still a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, especially with Matrix, like technicalities in Matrix. I've heard that Matrix has like an issue with state resets, which is like basically if a room gets a bit too complex, like it has a bit too much history and a few too many servers, and again because it's a federated protocol and it's an open protocol, meaning that there are many implementations of the server software in particular. Those servers sometimes miscommunicate with each other, and then they cannot agree that, oh, this is how the room should look like. No, it should look like this, and then the room resets.
That's not too good.
Yeah, that's not great, but what can we say? Matrix, right?
Yeah, we love it, but sometimes hate it.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're just chatting on one server, it should be fine.
Okay. And what about other things that you do to protect your privacy on day to day?
For example, my choice of browsers, I use LibriWolf, and again, mainly because like Firefox is like the only major engine that isn't made by a major company, but also LibriWolf because it's a fork where they've made some changes. They've made some changes, like for example, they enable resist fingerprinting by default. If you don't know what resist fingerprinting is, it's a feature in Firefox which was contributed back from Tor, the Tor browser. If you've ever used the Tor browser, you may know that if you try, for example, to resize the window, it will letterbox and like it will not resize smoothly. It will snap to values. Actually, that is disabled by default on LibriWolf.
Okay.
But I have it enabled. It's called letterboxing. But reverse fingerprinting is, for example, a website wants to read off of a canvas element. They will, by default, they will not get the image they expect. They will get random garbage. Because it turns out that output from a canvas element can be used to fingerprint you. So yeah, so they just output the random garbage by default. And on LibriWolf, it's like they have a really nice feature where if a website tries to extract canvas, it gives you a permission pop-up.
Yeah, that's a really cool feature.
And recently they've added the same feature for WebGL.
Yeah.
Before I mostly had WebGL disabled, but then I wanted to play some video game in my browser and I enabled it. And then I forgot to disable it.
Okay.
And then they added this feature and I just saw this GPU icon on fucking every single website. Just YouTube, Google, like, because those are big websites, but like, actually, what other website? But literally every website I went to just wants my GPU. Why do you want WebGL? You're not rendering anything. You're not a video game. Why do you want my fingerprint? That's an amazing feature, really. Just showcases to you how much tracking there is across the web.
So first thing is your web browser, LibreWolf.
Yep.
Is there anything else?
I use Arch Linux, by the way.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, also in like my browser, I use again this extension in it's a Firefox extension. It's a feature in Firefox. It's called Container Tabs. I really recommend it. It basically allows you to set up containers, which are basically separated like cookie spaces. For example, you can have can have two tabs because I have to use Google Drive for my university. So I have like a separate container for Google for my university. I have a separate container for Google for like my personal account. And by default, I am not logged into Google. So even if for some reason Google was able to detect on a different website that, oh, I'm logged in. Well, no, they cannot, because by default, I'm using the default container where I'm not logged in, where I'm not logged in.
Because you're not using Google at all.
No, I'm not using. I'm Google. Well, I do not use YouTube, right?
Yes.
And I use Google Drive, and I guess their Office suite is better than the web suite of Microsoft. But I don't use them as a search engine.
Okay, what are you using though?
I use Brave Search. I use it because it's like the only free engine I know of that reportedly, allegedly, has their own search index. So they're supposed to be independent. And also it works really well for programming, in my experience.
Okay. What about, because you have Android phone?
Yep.
And it's done by Google.
Yeah. You know, I wish I could install, I wish using alternative Android ROMs wasn't so difficult. Like, you have to find the right ROM, which is first off, you have to buy the right phone, right? You need to know if you want to use an alternative ROM, an alternative operating system for your mobile phone. It all starts when you're buying the phone. You have to plan in advance that, okay, I'm going to use this system, and I'm going to buy this phone which is supported by this system, and then you have to worry about whether your bank will like your system. Because, oh God, those applications, if you've never used an alternative system and you've never heard about never read about it, you should probably know that there's something called safety net and something called attestation, which is basically it's supposed to verify that your operating system is secure on your phone. And many applications, for example, often banking apps, they check whether this operating system reports that your device is okay. But the issue is that Google designed it so that if you want to pass attestation, you have to use the official operating system. You cannot use something like Graphene OS or Lineage. Even though Graphene OS is allegedly much safer than stock Android. Well, if you use it, then they're gonna be angry. Or I guess you're gonna have to bypass it somehow.
Okay, so you're on stock Android.
Yeah, I'm on stock Android, and it's not something I'm proud of. But yeah, I mean, at least I try to not. For example, I have some default apps disabled. I have Google Chrome uninstalled for Firefox. So I try to make the situation better. I also don't have many apps. Back when I was a kid, I would always run out of storage on my fucking tablet because I wanted to install more games.
Yeah.
And as I've grown up, I was like, okay, I don't need those apps. I get angry at when you need a specific app just for a simple thing. I don't like those apps that are used by supermarkets. I don't have Lidl Plus. I don't have the Biedronka card. I don't have Żabka. I just don't care. And I really wish that some of those apps were just websites.
What's the reason that you don't have those loyalty cards?
Well, the whole idea the whole idea behind the loyalty card is that they track what you purchase, right? And then they give you discounts, but they track what you purchase. So that's one thing, and also a necessary app.
Okay. What would be the advice that you would give to like non-technical people to protect their privacy?
First thing you should probably start from like checking what you actually share on like social media, right? What I'm doing right now is I know is actively detrimental to my privacy, but I'm doing it for the content, okay? I'm doing it for the content.
Always
for your entertainment.
Of course, always for the content. It's okay then.
Yeah, but you should be aware of what you post on social media. Maybe you should post a little less. You should make sure you don't share private details on social media, because again, you should start with just checking what you share yourself, because what's the point of making sure companies cannot extract data in a covert way when you're literally giving it out for free on social media, right? You should start with that. Then maybe you should consider switching away from Google Chrome. I would recommend Firefox. Alternatively, like there's Brave, but people don't like Brave because it has crypto.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's a bloated browser. Like you should at least switch to Firefox. Maybe LibriWolf if you're radical
Like
in terms of privacy. Oh, and also go into your settings of your Android phone. If you of your Android phone, iPhone, whatever phone you have, go into privacy settings, and you might find that there's something called advertiser ID.
Okay.
Delete it out of existence. If you have a Google account, go to your Google account, go into the privacy section, and disable every single you probably have enabled personalized ads. If you ever wonder why, when you've just talked with your friend about, I don't know, this great tea from Lidl, and you suddenly get ads about tea from Lidl, it's probably because they're recording you, and you have personalized ads on. Disable personalized ads and disable the unnecessary history features. I have, for example, my location history just disabled.
Okay.
The only like history I keep is like YouTube history, like watch history, like one. And also because like if you don't enable YouTube watch history, it's just absolutely broken. I could be using InVideos, but InVideos is also Google is trying to break InVideos.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, because again, like YouTube doesn't like you downloading videos, and InVideos is basically doing that.
Okay, so first thing is like try to switch your browser from.
First thing is limit yourself on social media. Then switch your browser and check the settings of your accounts. Just disable personalized ads, disable history. On your phone, you should probably disable enhanced location. Just disable location if you don't use it. Like most people, I feel, if they were to like open a map apps, app for maps, right?
Yes.
And they had to wait like 8 seconds for them to find where they are, they would be angry. I get angry if I would get angry. I get angry if I find out that I have location enabled or if it loads too fast. But yeah, if you disable enhanced location, I think it only relies on GPS, and then you get that great 10-second wait time before it can find where you are. And it just calls me down to know that even my map apps, when I've just enabled location, it doesn't know for 10 seconds.
Yeah, they don't know where you are.
Yeah, and also you probably should try out if you're using Google Maps, try out like OpenStreetMap. Like I, for example, use OSMN from the F-Droid. So on F-Droid is actually they have the cracked version because it's open source.
Nice.
An open source, you can crack it. It's illegal because if it's under like the GPL license, the GPL license says that nothing in the program can be considered DRM.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no DRM in your app, so you can legally just crack it.
Nice. Legal cracking.
Yeah, I mean, you probably should support applications if you should support the people who make the software that you use, unless they're a big corporation. But if you're talking open source, you should support the people who make the software that you use. You probably shouldn't be just cracking without paying them, but students don't have money or something. Yeah, but if you haven't used OpenStreetMap, you might be surprised depending on your area. If you live, for example, in Wrocław, you will find that it has literally every single bench and trash can and tree mapped, which is funny for me.
Yeah, like the level of detail there.
Yeah, the level of detail in OpenStreetMap is just crazy. But there's also a lot of improvements you can make if you want to get into improving OpenStreetMap. You can just get a map OpenStreetMap editor map and just start editing. Like, you find that you go to a restaurant and it doesn't have the opening times, just type in the opening time, submit it, and dox yourself in the process.
Nice. Yeah. And so we can wrap up.
Yep.
Thank you, Konrad. Like, you heard details. How can you protect your privacy better? If you had any questions, write to minibomba@matrix.
Yeah, I don't know, join the Sponsorbox Discord or something.
Yeah.
Self-promo segment.
Of course.
No, actually, it's interaction reminder. No, it's self-promotion because we talked about why you should do it.
Yeah.
Sponsorbox moderator, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. It was a pleasure meeting with you, Konrad. Let's hope we'll talk together soon.
I hope you've enjoyed this podcast too.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Elo, żela.